He was one of the greatest pianists and composers of the Romantic period, recognized both for his virtuosity and for his musical innovations.
Franz Liszt was one of the most complex and influential figures in 19th century music, combining early genius, unmatched virtuosity, an intense emotional life, and deep spiritual transformations. His life can be understood as a succession of phases marked by success, crisis, reinvention, and artistic innovation.
Born on October 22, 1811, in the small village of Rading, then part of the Austrian Empire, Liszt was the only son of Adam Liszt, an administrator for the Esterházy estates and an amateur musician. Although he grew up in a rural and culturally limited environment, his father nurtured a strong interest in music and quickly recognized his son's extraordinary talent. Even as a child, Franz showed unusual sensitivity, becoming deeply absorbed whenever he heard music.
His musical education began very early and progressed rapidly. By the age of 9, he was already performing in public with great success in Hungarian towns, attracting the attention of local aristocrats who funded his education. In 1821, the family moved to Vienna, one of Europe's main musical centers. There, Liszt studied with Karl Czerny, a student of Ludwig van Beethoven. Czerny subjected him to rigorous technical training, correcting flaws and building a solid pianistic foundation. In 1822, Liszt made a highly successful debut in Vienna and was hailed as a prodigy, often compared to the young Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Following this early success, Liszt embarked on concert tours across Europe, performing in cities such as Munich, Paris, and London. His Paris debut in 1824 generated great excitement and established his international reputation. Despite his youth, he quickly experienced both the benefits and pressures of fame, including demanding schedules and social obligations.
The intense pace eventually took its toll. After his father's death in 1827, Liszt suffered a deep emotional and physical crisis. At just 15 years old, he became responsible for supporting his family. Settling in Paris with his mother, he turned to teaching piano for income. During this period, he temporarily withdrew from performing and immersed himself in spiritual and philosophical reflection, influenced by religious writings such as those of Thomas à Kempis. He even considered abandoning music for a religious life.
His emotional life was equally turbulent. He fell in love with one of his students, Caroline de Saint Cricq, but the relationship was ended by her father, leading Liszt into a period of isolation and depression. Shortly afterward, he was impacted by the July Revolution of 1830, which awakened his interest in social and cultural issues and inspired more idealistic artistic ambitions. In the 1830s, his artistic development was profoundly shaped by contact with major musicians. He befriended Frédéric Chopin, whose lyrical style influenced him, and was deeply impressed by the virtuosity of Niccolò Paganini. Inspired by Paganini, Liszt sought to push piano technique to its limits, producing extremely demanding works such as the Paganini Etudes, including the famous La Campanella. In 1833, Liszt began a relationship with Countess Marie d'Agoult, with whom he had 3 children. The scandalous nature of their relationship led them to leave Paris and live in Switzerland and Italy. This period proved highly productive artistically. Liszt composed works inspired by travel and landscape, especially the cycle Years of Pilgrimage, blending virtuosity with poetic expression. During the 1840s, Liszt reached the height of his career as a pianist. He toured extensively across Europe, generating an almost hysterical level of admiration, later described as Lisztomania. He was celebrated not only for his revolutionary technique, but also for his stage presence and charisma. At the same time, he expressed strong national identity by incorporating Hungarian and Romani musical elements into works such as the Hungarian Rhapsodies. In 1848,
Tired of constant touring, Liszt settled in Weimar, where he became Kapellmeister, music director. This marked a turning point. He focused more on composition and conducting. He developed the symphonic poem, an innovative orchestral genre, and composed major works such as the Piano Sonata in B minor, the Faust Symphony, and the Dante Symphony. He also played a crucial role in promoting other composers, especially Richard Wagner. His relationship with Princess Caroline von Sayn-Wittgenstein marked another profound shift. Under her influence, Liszt deepened his religious devotion. After years of failed attempts to marry her, he eventually chose a religious path, and in 1865 received minor orders in the Catholic Church, becoming known as Abbé Liszt. Even during his religious years, he remained musically active. He composed important sacred works, including oratorios and masses, such as the Hungarian Coronation Mass. He continued to travel and teach, maintaining his status as a leading musical authority across Europe.
Liszt's later years were marked by personal losses, including the deaths of his children and close companions, as well as declining health. Nevertheless, he received renewed recognition in cities like Paris and London, where he was once again celebrated. In 1886, already in fragile health, Liszt traveled to Bayreuth to attend a performance of Wagner's Tristan und Isolde. Shortly afterward, he contracted pneumonia and died on July 31 at the age of 75. Despite his immense fame, he died with few material possessions. Liszt's legacy is vast. He revolutionized piano technique, elevated the solo recital to a new artistic level, created the symphonic poem, and profoundly influenced Romantic music. His life embodies the Romantic ideal of the artist: brilliant, restless, innovative, and deeply engaged with emotion, spirituality, and the world around him.